just get right into it. So we're talking about intention, a lot of intention, and the word for intention in Sanskrit is sankalpa. And san can be translated as your highest truth. And the word kalpa, part of it, is translated as sacred. So when we set a sankalpa, it's honoring or it's setting what your deepest truth is. So it's not like a New Year's resolution. Those kinds of New Year's resolutions we just abandon after a couple of weeks if they seem to go. And those New Year's resolution, that's because they come from the mind. They come from your intellect. So we think very hard about what we intend to do for the following year. But a sankalpa is different. A sankalpa comes from deep within us. And there's also a difference between having a sankalpa and having a desire. So when you have a desire, you may want something really badly. You just want it so much, but just wanting it, it doesn't really ever seem to get you too far. It's when you marry that desire that you have with a really great focused intention, with a true determination, that's what does it. So setting our intention on finding our sankalpa, it means finding that one resolve, that one goal that you want to focus on with really laser focus. So it kind of speaks to what your overriding purpose in life is. Like, why were we put here in the first place? And that's really what each of us wants to know. So each one of us has a unique talent or a charism. And in many cases, you may have more than one talent. But the major clue in knowing what that is that when you are expressing your unique talent, you're really happy and you just lose all sense of time. It could be planting or knitting, could be baking, it could be fishing, it could be organizing stuff, it could be taking care of children, literally anything at all. And then the goal of all goals is that when you're able to blend that unique talent with service to others, that's when you do this. That's when you do this. That's when your spirit really, really sings. So most important for today, though, is figuring out what is it that's holding you back from your deepest desire and just letting go of that. It's like, is it a belief? Is it like, I'm not good enough? I'm not smart enough? I'm not capable enough? I'm not pretty enough? I'm not young enough? I just don't deserve this. These are the stories. These are the illusions. And the word illusion in Sanskrit is referred to as Maya. And these are the illusions or the Mayas that we tell ourselves. And they take up a lot of space in our mind. And these kind of illusions, these wrong ways of thinking, they settle deep into the cells of our body. But we do have the power to free ourselves, from some of these burdens that we place upon ourselves. Some of these, to free ourselves from some of them that are conscious and some are the unconscious patterns. And we can just offer them up just a little bit at a time. And as you do that, you make space for what it is that you really want. So we know that clinging to these past ideas, this baggage that we carry around with us, we know that it's not going to bring us peace. So if we're to find and fulfill that deep desire, just letting go is the way that we really want to go. Okay? So in today's session, we're going to breathe and move and meditate to let go of the things that are really keeping us from our true intention. We're going to let go of some of the physical, some of the emotional, some of the mental baggage, the beliefs, the opinions, the judgments, whatever it is that you've collected. And then we'll just reset and reground ourselves in our intention for 2022. Okay? So any questions so far? All right. So for today's breath practice, we're going to use the breath to focus and to just wash away any negative thoughts or actions. What we'll be doing is we're going to inhale fully up to the collarbones for a count of 6. And then we're going to exhale in 3 parts, just like a waterfall, just washing away negativity. So we'll be exhaling from the top corners of the chest, 1, 2 to the heart, and then 1, 2 to the navel, and then 1, 2 to the pelvic floor. We'll take a little recovery breath, and then we'll inhale again for a count of 6 all the way up. We'll take a pause, and then we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, just washing it all away. Okay? Now, if during this breath practice it causes you anxiety because you're just not used to it or your breath is shallow, then just go back to following your own breath, just watching your breath, just watching the inhales, watching the flow of the inhales and the exhales. All right? Okay, so let's find a comfortable seat, kind of like wiggling around a little bit and placing your feet flat on the floor, hip distance apart, and the heels are behind the widest part of your feet. So just looking down and make sure that's the case. And then just lifting up the toes, just softening, and just a little lift in the pelvic floor. And then just slowly closing your eyes. And just start by noticing your breath. Don't try and change it. Just watching the texture, watching the pattern, watching the quality. Just watching where the inhales go, watching where the exhales go. Just noticing which is longer. Just noticing. And then just taking a few breaths where you feel yourself inhaling all the way up to the collarbones and exhaling all the way down to the root. Doing that again, just inhaling all the way up and letting it flow all the way down. And then we'll begin with our count of 6. So inhaling all the way up to the collarbones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Letting your belly and chest expand. And then exhale, letting out your breath in 3 equal parts. Exhale, 1, 2, pause at the chest. Exhale, 1, 2, pause at the belly. Exhale, 1, 2, pause at the pelvic floor. Take a little recovery breath here. And then beginning again, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. Exhale, 1, 2 to the chest, 1, 2 to the belly, 1, 2 to the pelvic floor. Recovery breath. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the eyes, the brows, the cheeks, the tongue. And then again, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale. 1, 2 to the chest. 1, 2 to the belly. 1, 2 to the pelvic floor. Recovery breath. And just continuing on your own. And if you find that you're short of breath, just breathing normally for a bit and then just trying again. It helps to just take a normal breath after each round. And just continue at your own pace with the staggered breath, just expelling any harmful thoughts or ideas or practices that you may be holding. You can visualize a cascading waterfall just washing these thoughts or practices away. Tongue is soft, cheeks are soft. Lips may even be slightly separated. And then just letting yourself just return to normal. Just drawing the palms together. And just dropping the chin to the chest. Just letting go of all last remaining illusions, mayas, things that have been haunting you. Cracking the eyes open, lifting the chin, and placing the hands down, and we're going to start with some eye movements. So what you do with your eyes, whether positive or negative, affects your entire nervous system. So the more that we can relax the eyes, the more soothed that the nervous system becomes. So keep in mind to do these exercises with relaxation in mind. So keeping the head nice and steady, visualize a clock. And visualize 12 o'clock at the top. And as you visualize that clock, just keeping the head and shoulders and body steady, looking up at 12, moving around your eyes to 1, to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5, all the way down to 6, to 7, to 8, to 9, to 10, to 11, to 12. Close the eyes for a moment, and we'll be going back again the other way. Looking all the way up again to 12, making sure your eyes look as far as the limit of their socket, and begin moving your eyes counterclockwise to 11, to 10, to 9, to 8, to 7, to 6, to 5, to 4, to 3, to 2, to 1, and back to 12. Close the eyes. We're going to do the same thing in a more relaxed way, but this time place your palms over your eyes. Your palms are not touching the eyes. The eyes are just closed for a moment, and staying in this position with the palms over the eyes, we'll be doing the same thing. So looking all the way up to the limit of your socket at 12, go from 12 to 1, to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5, to 6, to 7, to 8, to 9, to 10, to 11, and 12. Close the eyes for a moment, keeping the hands cupped over the eyes. Easy breath. And then last time, we'll go in the counterclockwise position, bringing the eyes all the way up as far as they'll go to 12, to 11, to 10, to 9, to 8, to 7, to 6, to 5, to 4, to 3, to 2, to 1. Close the eyes, placing the hands down onto the lap. And then very, very slowly cracking the eyes open, inhaling here. And as you exhale, just turn the head to the right. Coming back to center and turning the head to the left. back to center and dropping the ear to the right. Just pausing here, lifting the chin up onto the diagonal, feeling a nice stretch in the neck. And then slowly releasing the chin and coming back to center. Inhale here. And as you exhale, dropping the ear to the left. Taking a pause. Not being too aggressive, but feeling a nice sensation in the right side of the neck. Lifting the chin on the diagonal. And then slowly releasing and coming back to center. Full neck rolls. We'll drop the chin down. Roll the head to the right. Bring the head all the way back, lifting the chin. And exhale, bring the ear to the left. And again, dropping the chin to the chest. Dropping the ear to the right. Head comes all the way back. Coming around and dropping the chin. Going in the opposite direction. Bringing the ear to the left. Bringing the head all the way back, rolling it around. And bringing the ear to the right. And again, dropping the chin. Bringing the ear to the left. Dropping the head back. And bringing it to the right. And then slowly releasing. Inhaling, shrugging the shoulders all the way up, bringing them all the way back and all the way down. And again, shoulders around, all the way up, all the way back, and coming around. Opposite direction, bringing the shoulders back, all the way up and down. And again, bringing them all the way back, all the way up, and floating them down. Just adjusting the screen, moving back a little bit here. Inhale and bringing the arms all the way out, clasping the hands, and just taking the hands and placing them on top of the head and bringing the elbows back. And so as you bring the elbows back, the sit bones are planted firmly. Your side waist is long, the shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then if you have the flexibility to turn the palms inside out and place them on top of the head, do that. And again, feel as though the heart is open as you stretch the arms all the way up to the extent that you can. So we're going towards straight. You may be very, very bent, and that is perfectly fine. Wherever you are is exactly where you are supposed to be. So just pausing here for a moment, taking a breath, stretching out both sides of the body, the two energy channels, and now letting the right hand just float down, and maybe holding on to the side of the chair. Turning your palm so that it's facing towards the right. Lift all the way up, like you're lifting up. Lift the belly in and up, and taking a nice lean over to the right. Pausing here, we're opening up that left energy channel, which is called Ida. And so when we open up the energy channels, the prana, the life force can flow every cell in the body. And of course, we have trillions of those. Breathing here and letting yourself fall the bicep by the ear to the extent that you can. And then bringing the right hand all the way up. We're going to put the palms together, pressing them together, and then just drawing them down the midline of the body. taking a pause, we're namaste, namaskar. When we press our hands together, it's almost as if we're yoking our energy to the center, union, not feeling separated, but feeling one. And then once again, bring the arms out to the sides. When we clasp our hands this time, we're just going to move the pinky over one digit. It'll feel a little bit awkward, but moving it over that digit, stretching the arms out for a moment, and then placing the palms on top of the head, elbows back, feeling the sternum or the chest lift, trying to keep the head in neutral, and trying not to lift the shoulders up to the ears, but allowing there to be plenty of space between your shoulders and your ears. And if you did so on the other side, then turning the palms inside out. Noticing your breath here, trying to keep the inhales and the exhales equal, always breathing. It's the breath that allows the energy to flow within the body. And then stretching the arms up again, coming towards straight, but wherever you are is good. Biceps by the ears. When we press down into the sit bones, lift up the pelvic floor a little. If we lift up the belly a little, our spine becomes longer and straighter, and we have more space. And then just allowing that left hand to float down, maybe holding on to the chair. Press down through your right foot, lift up through your right hand. We press down to lift up and taking a lean over to the left. And this time opening up the right side of the body, the Pingala energy channel, the two energy channels, Ida and Pingala, that kind of intersect around the spine. And just allowing your breath to take you there. Breathing easily, breathing deeply. And then slowly coming all the way up, placing both hands down. We'll come into our cat-cows. I'm going to just turn just so that you can see the action, but you can stay forward as you are. I'm going to turn my body so that you can see. Placing the hands right onto the knees, starting with the spine nice and straight, crown of the head in line with the tailbone. And as you inhale, you pull through the knees to allow the chest to come through the shoulders. Inhaling here, this is your inhale. And as you exhale, belly goes to the back of the spine, round. Inhale, as the body begins to flow, we can let go of that negativity. Inhaling and arching, lifting the chin, but the back of the neck stays long. And exhale, exhaling out all that you just don't need. Inhaling again, arching the back, shoulders back, coming to the front of the sit bones. And as you exhale, you come to the back of the sit bones and round. One more time. Inhaling, make it count. Let the breath take you there. Just concentrate on the breath. And exhale, round. And back to center. Pausing for a moment. Just noticing how you feel. And then just coming a little bit forward onto your chair. We'll come into sun salutations. Adjusting just a little bit more. And in sun salutations, we have the full breath take us in the various positions. So we begin with our arms out. And if you haven't done this before, we'll be doing it 3 times. So you'll just follow along as you get it. Inhale, we bring the arms all the way up. We gaze up, bring the palms together. And as you exhale, turn the palms out, hinging from the hips, bringing the belly onto the thighs, coming all the way down and letting the head just go. Inhale, place the hands on the shins as you gaze up and lengthen the spine. And exhale and fold completely, belly towards the thighs. Press down through the feet, turn the palms out. Use your core to bring you all the way up. My arms are going to stay as straight as I can make them. Palms together at the top. And draw the hands down the midline of the body again. Closing the eyes. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Settle into the body. Pouring positivity, washing away negativity. And again, inhaling the arms down around and up, stretching up. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, palms together at the top. And as you exhale, again, a swan dive as you bring your belly towards your thighs and let the head go. Inhale, halfway lift. We call that Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, forward fold. We call that Uttanasana. Press down through the feet, coming all the way up. We call that Urdhva Hastasana as we bring the palms together and hands down the midline of the body. Tadasana. Closing the eyes. Full breath in and full breath. Once again, inhaling the arms down around and up. Take that full breath to bring you all the way up. Take a pause at the top. And as you exhale, turn the palms out, swan dive, as if you're moving through water, coming all the way down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, press down through the feet, come all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together and draw them down the midline of the body. Close the eyes. Just allow yourself to notice how you feel. Softening wherever you can soften, but keeping the spine nice and straight, nice and long. One long line of energy from the crown of the head to the base. And then if you're not already there, we'll come a little bit forward on the chair, looking down and make sure that your ankles are directly under the knees. The knees are in line with your inner hips. Your inner hips are in line with your shoulders, and your ears are in line with your shoulders. We'll come into Virabhadrasana 2, our warrior pose. So again, soften the toes, but reaffirm the big toe mound behind the big toe. There's a mound. Press into that, and then press into the mound behind the little toe, and press into the center of both heels. So you're feeling very firm, steady warrior. And then we'll bring our arms out to the sides in a T. Turn the palms up. So when we turn the palms up, you can feel that rotation, that outer rotation in the shoulders. And then trying to keep that outer rotation in the shoulders so that the heart is open, we just turn the palms down. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just turning the head to the right, looking over that middle finger with a soft dristi or a soft gaze. And we'll just do our breath of moving up to 6 and down, and that washing away things, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. 1, 2 to the chest. 1, 2 to the belly. 1, 2 to the pelvic floor. Regular breaths. And turning the head to center, bringing the palms down onto the thighs, closing the eyes, and let the energy of that pose just settle into the cells of the body, lighting them up, taking away that darkness, taking away the Maya, the illusions, the stories that we tell ourselves. And then once again, Reaffirm the feet, making sure that you are in perfect alignment and bringing the arms out to the sides. Turning the palms up once again to open through the heart to feel that shoulder rotation, shoulders sliding down the back, and then just turning the palms down. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just gazing over that left middle finger, finding that drishti, that soft gaze, all the way out as far as the eye can see. And we'll do our waterfall breath here. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just washing away the mind. And then slowly coming back, head back to center. Bring the arms down, hands right onto the lap, closing the eyes. And again, just noticing any change in consciousness. And just noticing the breath as well. Always coming back to noticing the breath. And so we'll do a little bit of marching here to begin. So we'll inhale and raise the left knee and exhale and place it down, the right knee. Inhale and raise the left and place it down. Inhale the right, exhale down. Inhale left, exhale down. One more time. Inhale right, exhale down. Inhale left, exhale down. Changing it up. Inhale, lift the right, point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot. Bring it to regular and placing it down. Lifting the left, point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. Putting it to regular and placing it down. Lifting the right, you can clasp your hands underneath that thigh and just rolling the ankles around in one direction. And then rolling the ankles around in the other direction. And then slowly hugging the knee into the chest as much as you can and pressing out through the heel. And you can keep your hand right clasped underneath the thigh, and you can even just stay just like this is perfectly fine. You can press all the way out, pardon the bottoms of my feet. And if it is within, if your core is strong enough, or you can just try it for a second, maybe raising the arms all the way up, but you can always keep the hands clasped behind the thigh. Pausing here. This is really strong for your core, just pushing out that negativity with fire. And then slowly bringing the knee all the way up, giving yourself a nice little squish, 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 and then placing that foot down. Raising the left, clasping the hands behind the thigh, rolling that left ankle around one way, and then rolling it around the other way. And then pressing it all the way out. You're clasping the hand behind. Your belly is nice and firm. You have that length from crown to base. And again, if your core is strong enough, don't strain too much, lifting the arms up ahead. Pausing here. And again, fire in the belly, just burning out the illusions, the Maya, the negative thoughts, the things that keep us from finding out who we really are. And then slowly, unclasping, bring the knee up, giving yourself a really, really good squish here, good hug, and placing the foot down. And just pause for a moment. You can close the eyes, and again, just letting that settle into the body. We'll do some body circles just to relax everything. So we can start over to the right and just rolling around. But again, your roll around may look completely different from mine, and that's fine. It's just movement. We're all about just moving your body in a way that feels organic, that feels sensual, feels flowing, whatever feels good. One more time, that direction. And then just when you come back to that front, just change it in the other direction, which again may feel kind of awkward. You change sides, it feels very, very different. It doesn't feel quite as flowing. Just 2 more times, just moving the body, just moving, just in a swaying, flowing, easeful way. And coming back to center, just pausing. Always nice to close the eyes in between poses. And we'll come into camel pose again. I'm going to turn just so that you can see, but you don't have to turn. So I'm just turning to the side, and camel pose is Ustrasana. It's a back bend. It's very energizing. It energizes the entire system. So we're going to just bring our hands behind as if you were placing the hands in your back pockets. And then squeeze the elbows together. Look down, making sure we still have the ankles below the knees. And as you inhale, you press down through the sit bones. So we're going down and we're going to lift up. So we're pressing down through the sit bones and lift up through the sternum. This is the sternum. And as you exhale, feel as though there's a little string on the sternum pulling you up as you come into the back. And don't bring your head back too far. If you can't talk or if you can't breathe easily, then just put your head straight up. So breathing here in this back bend, squeeze the elbows together, pressing down in order to lift up, and then slowly releasing. Put the right palm over the left palm, close the eyes here, and just think of breath as hum up the body and sigh all the way down. One more time. Hum all the way up with the breath and sigh all the way down. We'll do that one more time, just floating the hands behind as if you're putting them in your back pockets, squeezing the elbows together, pressing down through the sit bones to lift all the way up through the sternum. Inhaling here, length, length, length. And as you exhale, coming into the extent of your back bend, whatever makes you feel as if you're opening the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Couple breaths. Feeling it from the inside out. And slowly coming back to center, letting hands float around. Allow yourself just to settle in for a moment. Dropping the chin, drop the chin, you come into a more reflective, a more meditative mood, which is where we will be moving. And then very, very slowly widen the feet just a bit. Inhale, coming all the way up. And as you exhale, moving all the way forward, coming into a forward bend, the full extent of your forward bend. And all the way in. And slowly, 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 just moving up one vertebra at a time. And so in our meditation today, we're going to start with a Kriya. A Kriya is a cleansing breath to release the blockages that we're holding. And then following the Kriya, we're going to rest for a few moments. And as you rest, I want you to notice what comes up as your overriding thought or your overriding intention. It could be something very, very general, like I want to be more compassionate or more peaceful or more active or more loving or more confident. I came up for myself as I want to listen more. I found I'm sometimes talking rather than listening. So whatever it is for you, it could pop up and try to keep, or it could be something very specific, something that you really specifically want to accomplish. But try to keep that intention to one word, the most 2 words, okay? So the breath that we're going to use to release the blockages is called Kapalabhati. And the translation of Kapalabhati is skull cleansing. In Kapalabhati breath, we're taking forced, short, sharp exhales. So as you exhale, the belly goes in automatically. You don't even have to think about the inhales. They just, as I said, happen automatically. And I'm going to just show you what it looks like before we begin. So we're going to be placing our hands on the belly and we move to the side. And when we have these short, sharp exhales, again, don't worry about the inhale. It looks like this. And then from there, we'll be taking a full breath in, a full breath out, a breath halfway in, and then we'll be holding the breath by holding, pulling up through the pelvic floor. So you just pull up here, you pull your belly in and up, and then we drop the chin. So you're locking all the fire, all the energy between the pelvic floor and the chin. Okay? And then after we can't hold, it becomes too uncomfortable to hold, don't go too far. You release the pelvic floor, you let the belly come up, and the chin comes up. You relax the shoulders. Any questions on that, on Kapalabhati or on anything that we've done so far? Okay. So at the end of that, just notice what one word comes up for you. We'll rest after we do those 9. Notice what word, what intention comes up for you. It may be one you already know, or it may all of a sudden just something else may pop in that you didn't even know was there. So we'll just start by placing our hands, but just breathing regularly, just breathing normally. Find your comfortable seat, closing the eyes. Just breathing normally, just full breaths in, just feel the breath going equally in both nostrils, in and out. And then we'll begin by taking those short, sharp exhales. One more time, just in case you didn't follow the first time. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale halfway up. Pull the pelvic floor up. Pull the belly in and up. Drop the chin. Lock all of that fire energy inside. You can use the mantra rum, 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 rum. That's a fire mantra. When you can no longer hold the breath, keep the eyes closed. When you can't hold the breath any longer, just release the pelvic floor. Let the belly relax. Let the chin come up. Keep the eyes closed. And just see what one word pops into your mind for your intention. And now I'm going to lead you through a process of locking that intention within the chakra system, locking it within every cell of your body. And so bring your attention to the very base of the spine, keeping the eyes closed, and imagine right at the base of the spine, 4 lotus petals opening. And in your own handwriting, in your mind's eye, write your intention right at that spot. And then keeping your awareness right there, we'll use the mantra LUM to set the intention within the Muladhara chakra. La, la, lum. La, la, lum. La, la, lum. Lum, lum, lum. Sitting there and letting that just settle in to the Muladhara chakra. Keeping the eyes closed, try to keep them closed through this whole portion of meditation, drawing our awareness right behind the navel. And right there, I want you to vision 10 lotus petals opening up. And in your own handwriting, write your intention there. And now we'll use the mantra RUM to seal in your intention. Ra, ra, rum. Ra, ra, rum. Ra, ra, rum. Rum, rum, rum. And then we'll move to the heart center, the Anahata chakra, right in the center of the chest. And envision 12 lotus petals opening up as you write your 1 or 2 word intention there in your own handwriting. And we'll use the mantra yum to seal in your intention. Ya, ya, yum, ya, ya, yum, ya, ya, yum, 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 yum. We'll then move to the throat chakra, the Vishuddha chakra, where we imagine 16 lotus petals opening up. And write your intention in your own handwriting there. And we'll use the mantra hum to seal in your intention. Ha, ha, hum. Ha, ha, hum. Ha, ha, hum. Hum, hum, hum. And then we'll move up to that space between the brain and the skull. And we'll imagine 1,000 lotus petals just opening up. And just writing your intention right above the head in your own handwriting. 1,000 lotus petals. And we'll use the mantra Om to let that intention just float out to the greater intelligence. Om, 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 Om. And keeping the eyes closed. Just taking your thumb or your second finger and just pressing right into the third eye. And as you press in, visualize in that spot going 2 inches into the middle of the brain. And keeping the eyes closed, and we'll just meditate. You can remove the finger and just meditate, and we will find silence and quiet for 3 minutes as that intention manifests. And you can place the backs of the palms right onto your thighs. Let the thumb and index finger touch in a circle of each hand. Widen the space between the brow. Soften the eyeballs. And separate the teeth just a little bit. The lips barely, barely touching. Letting the tongue just feel floaty in the mouth. The jaw is relaxed. Just finding stillness. Slowly bringing the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And slide the tongue behind the teeth, between the teeth and the gum. And then drawing the palms together, just very lightly letting just the fingertips rub each other, tingly feeling. And then separating the hands an inch and feeling the heat between the hands. And separating a little bit more and feeling the radiance behind the heat. And then separating a little bit more. And just feeling that puffy feeling as though your hands could move in and out and shape the air between them. And then just slowly putting the hands over the eyes, just cupping them and lifting the chin so that all of that heat, all of that radiance, all of that tejas can flow into and behind the eyes, into the trillions of cells within the brain, nourishing every cell in the brain, nourishing the skin on the face. And then slowly just dragging the hands down the front of the face and around the back of the neck, and maybe just giving a little bit of a massage on the neck. And then bringing the hands, one palm over the other, onto the throat chakra. And slowly coming down to the thymus, place of healing. Ram, 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 Ramaya, Namaha is the healing mantra. We'll say that again. Maybe you want to say it together. Ram, 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 Ramaya, Namaha. Then bring the hands down to the heart center, down to the solar plexus, down to the navel. And then slowly just rubbing the hands onto the thighs, back and forth. We want to get ourselves grounded so that you can move through life with appropriate decisions, getting the energy down to the feet and then circling the knees. And just stamping the feet to really, really get all of that energy down to the feet to ground yourself. And then bringing the palms together at the heart center. Bowing the head all the way down to seal in this sacred practice. Slowly raising the head and bowing the head to the heart, to the only true teacher, to the teacher that lies within each and every one of us. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat. Namaste.
That was wonderful.